So we're doing it again, but bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. There's more work to do, but today, 22 states, we're setting 22 total. Is that right, Chris? That just came out, that statistic. We're down lower than we've been in 7 years in gasoline prices and oil prices, not just the 3 states that I talk about with $1.99 a gallon. How would you like to have $1.99? You know, that's the equivalent of a very major tax cut. You know, when you get the energy prices down, it's really the equivalent, maybe even in many cases better than a big tax cut, which we gave you. We gave you the biggest tax cut ever in the first term. We then gave you, with the great big beautiful deal, which is phenomenal, we gave you something that's even better than we did. We gave you an extension of the biggest tax cuts and the biggest tax cuts ever, even bigger than the first term. And that's one of the reasons that your 401ks are through the roof. It's one of the reasons that the stock market is at the highest point. So rent prices are down, dairy prices are coming down very strongly. The cost of Thanksgiving turkeys was down by 33% compared to the Biden era. You know what you did during the Biden era for Thanksgiving? You said, oh my God, this is terrible. It was a rotten Thanksgiving. And Walmart, I thank them. You know, they came out with a big, like sort of a numbers thing, a chart, and they had it 25% less. So that's pretty good. A Thanksgiving meal with all of the trimmings is 25% less under Trump than it was a year ago under Biden. That's a good start. We're bringing it down, and we're coming down more. We're coming down a lot more. Takes a little time to come down. They were ruining. They're going to destroy our country. The cost of a Christmas ham, what? Don't forget who? Eggs. I'm getting to eggs. But you're right. Remember with eggs where I had my first news conference. 2 days went by and I had a news conference, right? Unlike Biden, 2 years go by, he still didn't have it. Remember? He'd walk off the stage. He's finished with his, sir, you're finished with your speech now. What? You finished what? And then he'd walk into a wall. What he did, and it wasn't him, it was some really smart, radical left lunatics. What they did to our country, we can never forget. We can never forget. But you remember the first eggs? We remember the first 3 days. I just got there. Sure, what's these people? 2 of them are there, right there. Look at all those cameras you got. You got a lot of television going. 2 of them were there. And I'm talking about, yes, I look forward to getting involved and doing great things. What about eggs? Eggs are down. As they go, eggs. They said, the price of eggs is quadrupled. I said, oh, I didn't know that. Tell me about it. It's gone up like 4 or 5 times. Remember eggs right at the beginning? He's right when he says eggs. It went up like 4 times. It was like crazy. And they said, sir, don't buy. They came into the Oval Office. Sir, you know, we have an Easter egg hunt. It's like a thing for 150 years at the White House. Beautiful. They said, sir, we're going to buy plastic eggs this year. Plastic eggs. We don't have, you know, enough eggs to go around for that. I said, you're going to buy regular eggs, and by the time Easter comes, we're going to have so many eggs, you're not going to know what to do. You're not buying plastic. And we didn't. And Brooke Rollins, our Secretary of Agriculture, did an incredible job. And eggs dropped like a rock. And we ended up buying a lot of eggs for a lot of... But the price of eggs is down now 80% since March. Think of that. And we have 2 price charts. You remember the last time I pointed to a chart? My all-time... I don't care what these charts say. My all-time favorite chart was the chart I had in Butler. I said, let's look at the chart. Bing, bing. I don't care how good that chart looks. It's shit by comparison to the one in Butler. It's nothing. I like the Butler chart. Remember, that was on how great employment was and all this, but I like it for other reasons. Look at that chart. It's good, but now I talk about the Butler chart, I don't even want to look at it. Doesn't mean anything. But look, Biden price increases and Trump price increases. Look at Biden. Up 37, 24%, 22, 21, 30.7, 30.7 again, 10.4%, 49%.